Okay, I know everybody hates Walmart, but I don't think anybody hates it quite as much as me.
So I'm about to tell you why you should not purchase from Walmart online because it's a scam and a ripoff.
4.93, 1.83.
Walmart is the only place selling cheap, safe food in America in 2026. If you believe that too, you are wrong. They made a lot of promises, lower prices, guaranteed quality, and reliable food people could still afford, while prices were going through the roof. But what is the truth? Customers started getting furious when they found out that what they brought home weighed a whole lot less than the number printed on the label. A class action lawsuit suggests Walmart still has not changed, while poor quality food and product recalls just keep piling up. We thought we were getting a bargain, but it turns out we may be paying more for lower quality products while Walmart keeps cashing in on that trust. Today, come with me as we pull back the curtain on the ugly truth behind that promise of lower prices and take a hard look at what Walmart is really doing. Who should be held responsible for all of this? And finally, I will share a shopping guide that can help you avoid falling into this trap ever again. Watch this video before you head to Walmart this week and become the next victim.
Trump says he asked Walmart to lower prices as part of America's 250th birthday celebrations.
Honestly, I was ready to give Walmart another chance. Not because I suddenly started trusting big corporations, but because while food prices were eating away at our budgets, Walmart promised exactly what Americans wanted to hear. Most, they were going to stand with shoppers. These days, grocery shopping is not simple anymore. It feels like a fight for survival. We have to think hard about what to buy and what to leave behind because everything costs so much. For retirees living on a fixed income, a difference of just a few dollars can mean breakfast or meat for the weekend. Right at that moment, Walmart announced thousands of rollback deals. Ground beef dropped from $6.74 to $5.94 per pound. Corn went from 68 cents to 25 cents. A bag of red cherries dropped by almost half. I thought finally a corporation big enough to bring prices down instead of pushing our grocery bills up. Then the man everybody knows also praised Walmart as truly patriotic for cutting beef prices by nearly 15% as America celebrated its 250th anniversary. The number Walmart actually announced was closer to 12%, but in the middle of this price crisis that was still something worth celebrating. So prices went down. But did we really come out ahead, or was it just a nice looking number in a marketing campaign? Follow this man. With nothing but a package of ham and a scale inside Walmart, he's going to help us find out.
5.41, 2.32, 4.54. Come on now.
Thank you, Jimmy Rig. You just helped all of us uncover something that, honestly, I never thought I would have to check while grocery shopping. I had to pause this video and stare at the number on the screen one more time. The package of Kentucky Legend ham in Jimmy's hands was labeled 5.41 pounds. The price was $25.59. But when he put the whole package on the scale, it showed only about 2.32 pounds. And that huge difference did not stop with just one package of ham. It was horrifying. Just think about that. You are paying for more than 5 pounds of meat, but what is sitting right in front of you, packaging and all, weighs only a little over 2 pounds. This is not a few missing slices of ham. It is not a couple of ounces you can explain away with moisture loss or a small packaging error. More than half the weight printed on the label seems to exist only on that label. And I know what a lot of people are thinking, and maybe the scale was wrong. Jimmy thought of that too. He tested the scale with an object that weighed 2 pounds. The difference was only about 0.02 pounds. This was not an official inspection, but a scale that is off by 0.02 pounds cannot explain how more than 3 pounds of meat suddenly disappeared. What bothers me most is how easily something like this can slip through. Because who brings a scale when they go grocery shopping? I sure do not. I walk into the store, check the price, look at the expiration date, and try to keep the total within my budget. If the label says 5 pounds, I trust that it is 5 pounds. I do not think I should have to stop and investigate whether the number clearly printed on the package is actually true. That does not mean customers are careless. It means we trust that a package of food has already gone through the manufacturer quality control and a retailer worth hundreds of billions of dollars before it ever reaches the shelf. Now look at the money. Based on the label, the customer thinks they are paying less than $5 per pound of ham. But if the whole package only weighs about 2.25 pounds, the real price shoots past $11 per pound. What looked like a money-saving deal suddenly costs more than twice as much. And do not think this is just about one package of ham. If you lose a few ounces here, a pound there, and you keep buying groceries every week without ever checking, that lost money keeps adding up, and you may not even realize when it started disappearing. For a giant corporation, this might be brushed off as one defective label, but for a rancheria mother raising children or a family barely staying within budget that is of money for medicine, of electricity, and real meals, Walmart says it is lowering prices. But Jimmy made me ask him a much more uncomfortable question. Are they lowering the price based on the pounds printed on the label, or the pounds customers actually bring home? Still, would it be fair to write Walmart off because of one experience Jimmy had? I did not want to jump to conclusions either. So let us look beyond one package of ham because things get a whole lot worse.
Okay, so I just went to Walmart. Actually, I did a Walmart pickup order, and I bought French's. 1 pound, 5.6 ounces on that one. 1 pound, 0.7 ounces.
After watching Jimmy's video, I still wanted to believe it was just a rare mistake. Maybe one label was printed wrong. Maybe one batch had a problem. I wanted the story to end right there. But then I started scrolling through TikTok, searching online, and looking through news reports, and to my surprise, this was not the first time Walmart had done something like this. First, there were 2 unopened bottles of French's mustard. From the outside, they looked almost exactly the same, but one bottle weighed about 1 pound 5.6 ounces, while the other weighed only about 1 pound 0.7 ounces. That is a difference of nearly 5 ounces. Of course, the bottles were not open, so the mustard itself could be weighed separately, so I cannot say which bottle was short. But honestly, by this point, I had started looking at everything in my own refrigerator differently. Because when even 2 identical bottles of mustard make customers feel like they need to pull out a scale, trust has already become a problem. And you may not believe this, but Walmart has faced complaints about this exact kind of issue before to the point where it ended up in court. The lawsuit involved meat, poultry, seafood, and certain bags of citrus sold between October 2018 and January 2024. The plaintiffs alleged that some customers were charged more than the lowest advertised price, or were charged based on inaccurate weights. Walmart denied wrongdoing but agreed to settle the case for $45 million. Pretty ironic, right? At that point, I did not want to keep sitting in front of a screen and guessing anymore. My wife decided to buy a container of cheese and test it herself. What was inside had almost turned into a puddle of water. It was 1,000 times worse than what happened to Jimmy or anyone else. And I started asking myself, what does a low price even mean if the amount of food you can actually use is so much smaller? And now comes the toughest question the manufacturer weighs and labels the product. Walmart puts it on the shelf, and the customer pays Walmart. So when something goes wrong, who is really responsible?
What procedures do you guys have in place here to make sure this doesn't happen
Well, I'm
again?
gonna send it up to our home office. So
Okay.
they can contact
Like
whoever.
do you have training procedures for people who put meat out? Like, do they look at the prices like I just did and say, wow? I mean, that throws you off.
Obviously, we don't.
First of all, I do not blame the employees standing behind the meat counter. They did not weigh that package of ham at the factory. They did not print the label. They also did not decide that Walmart would sign a contract with Kentucky Legend. Most employees had no idea there was a problem until Jimmy brought the product over and asked about it. I can be angry about the wrong number, but I am not going to take that anger out on a shift worker who has no power to change the system. They can weigh the product again, call a manager, or pull a few packages off the shelf. That is about all they can do. The store manager has a little more authority. They can issue a refund document of the complaint and report the problem to someone higher up, but they're still only dealing with the package sitting right in front of them. What about the packages that were sold that morning? What about the packages from the same batch that customers bought the week before, who was going to contact those customers and tell them they may have paid for meat that was never there? When a product has a questionable weight label saying it will be donated does not solve the problem either. People receiving donated food also have the right to products that are safe and accurately labeled. So I tried tracing the issue back to where the label was created. Kentucky Legend said the problem only happened during a period of about 5 minutes on one specific production day. The company also said it had strengthened its control measures. That may explain one particular group of hams, but it raises another question. How did a mistake that big make it through all the inspections? I asked a close friend of mine who works at Cargill Meat Solutions. He explained that the normal process works like this. The meat goes through a weighing machine. The weight data is used to print the label and quality control. Employees monitor the production line and check samples. If they find anything unusual, the batch is supposed to be held before it leaves the factory. Cargill's not Kentucky Legend, so this is not proof of the process used for the package of ham Jimmy was holding, but it does show that packaged food normally has to go through several layers of inspection. The scale did not catch it. The quality control employees did not catch it. The retailer's receiving process did not catch it either. In the end, the person who noticed the problem was a customer holding a phone inside Walmart. That is really hard to accept. And I wish the problem had ended with a few packages of meat that were weighed incorrectly. But when I started checking checkout prices, expiration dates, food quality, and recalls, I realized that weight was only one part of the problem. What came next really made me ask whether Walmart is still as cheap and safe as we have always believed. First, I want to make one thing clear. The low price on the sign is not always the real cost the customer ends up paying. After the weight issue, I thought the problem was limited to a few packages of meat. But the closer I looked, the more I realized customers can lose money in all kinds of other ways. The shelf price may not match the price at checkout. Food may be too close to its expiration date, bruised, thawed out, or no longer usable. And if you have to go back to the store, you also lose more time, gas, and energy just trying to get your own money back. An item that is $1 cheaper but has to be thrown away after 2 days is not cheap. A receipt that is off by a few dollars is not a small problem either if it happens every week. The first problem is that the price on the shelf may not be the price that shows up at checkout. A customer saw a pair of shoes marked at $3, but when they were scanned, the price came up as $18.98. The manager later honored the $3 price. This was one specific incident. It does not prove Walmart is doing this on purpose across the entire company. But it does show something very simple. If customers are not paying attention, they may end up paying more than the price that made them pick the item up off the shelf. Even when the price is completely accurate, you can still lose money if the food is no longer usable. A customer who depends on delivery said the peanut butter they received was expired. Other people reported bruised vegetables, broken eggs, frozen food that had gone soft, or food with only a few days left before it expired. For a well-off family mom, one container of spoiled food is frustrating. For someone living on a fixed income, it could be part of the food they were counting on for the entire week. When products carrying the Great Value or a market side name have problems, Walmart cannot act like it is just the place putting those products on the shelf. Great Value and Market Side are Walmart's private labels. The products may be made by an outside supplier, but the name customers see is still Walmart. That name is what creates trust. Some Great Value cottage cheese products were once recalled because the liquid milk ingredients may not have been fully pasteurized according to state standards. No illnesses or hospitalizations had been reported when the recall was announced. But what stood out to me was that customers were not buying a product with the name of some unknown factory on it. They were buying Great Value. Walmart benefits when its private label products sell well. So Walmart also has to take more responsibility when products carrying those labels have a problem. Walmart cannot take all the trust when a product sells well, then pass all the responsibility to the supplier when something goes wrong. And when the story turns to recalls, the question is no longer whether the product was worth the money. The question is whether customers were warned in time. And this is the part that completely changed how I understand the word cheap. The real price is not just the number on the rollback sign. The real price also includes the missing food. The food you have to throw away the money you were wrongly charged, the time spent waiting for a refund, the gas it takes to drive back to the store, and the effort customers have to put in just to prove there is a problem. A low-priced product that makes you do all of that may not be a good value after all. Some price surveys also show that Walmart is not always the cheapest. Depending on the shopping cart and in the area, Costco, BJ's, Aldi, Lidl, or local chains may be cheaper for certain types of products. Of course, the results also depend on package size and brand membership fees and where you live. Even so, I still do not think everything at Walmart is negative. There are a few changes worth recognizing. After everything I just said, it would not be fair for me to pretend Walmart is doing absolutely nothing. I do not want to turn this video into an attack piece. When Walmart gets something right, I will say, they got it right. And the truth is, there are still a few positive signs. At some stores, Walmart has cut back on self-checkout or brought back more staffed registers. This is not a company-wide change yet, but it is still a sign worth recognizing. I do not need Walmart to turn the checkout area into some fancy place. I just need a real person who can help when the price scan's wrong, a coupon does not work, or the machine keeps calling for an employee. For seniors, people living with chronic pain, or anyone who cannot scan and bag an entire cart by themselves, a cashier is not some special service. It is basic support. Walmart also has the ability to fix mistakes. When the shelf price does not match the checkout price, some managers have honored the posted price. When there is a problem with a product, the store can pull it, issue a refund, and report it to someone higher up. The clearest bright spot is still the frontline employees. In many cases, the person who actually listens to the customer is not an automated system or some corporate email address. It is the employee standing right in front of them, the person trying to check the price, call a manager, or find a solution within the limits of what they are allowed to do. I think Walmart needs more people like that, not fewer. But until the system becomes more transparent, we need a practical way out. Stick with me for just one more minute and I will share a smart shopping guide you can use at Walmart or any other grocery store. So what should we do on our next shopping trip? I do not think the answer is to panic, argue with employees, or swear. We will never set foot in Walmart again. For many families, that is just not realistic. A better answer is to change the way we shop. Remember 4 things: weight, checkout, price, expiration date, and product condition. Just checking these 4 things can lower your risk by a lot. But I want to make one thing clear: checking the products yourself is not your only option. We can also change where we spend our money. In many communities, when a big Walmart opens, it brings low prices, a huge selection and convenience that small stores have a hard time competing with. Customers gradually start shopping at Walmart instead. Local stores see that their sales drop. Some lose customers, cut staff, and eventually have to close. Research on Walmart's impact does not reach the same conclusion for every community. Some studies have found that retail jobs and sales at businesses near Walmart are affected, while other reviews say the impact on small businesses depends on the location, the type of store, and how directly they compete. But one thing is easy to understand: when most of the shopping money in town flows into one big store, the smaller stores that remain have a harder time surviving. And when small stores disappear, people have fewer choices. At first that may not seem like a problem. Walmart is still there, prices are still low, the parking lot is still full. But if Walmart cuts services, raises prices, closes a location, or stops carrying an important product, the community may suddenly realize that the other stores are already gone. A community can depend on one big store to the point where its closing left people without a place to buy food, medicine, and many other basic necessities. Today's convenience should not cost us all our choices tomorrow. That is why I believe moving part of our spending to local stores is about more than just buying a better piece of meat. It is also a way to keep another choice alive in the community. You do not have to stop shopping at Walmart completely. Split up your cart. You can still buy canned goods, toilet paper, cleaning supplies, or products Walmart genuinely sells for less. But for meat, eggs, milk, fresh vegetables, or bread, try checking your local grocery store, butcher shop, farm stand, or farmer's market. Local stores are not always cheaper. I do not want to pretend they are perfect. You still have to check the price, quality, and expiration date. But sometimes you can ask directly when the products came in, where the meat came from, and who will take care of the problem if something goes wrong. Sometimes paying a little more means getting fresher products, throwing less food away, and having a real person who is willing to take responsibility. And every time we pay, we are choosing which kind of store gets to stay in business. It is not a political vote, but its impact is very real. Our money either helps a big business model to grow even bigger, or it helps a small store keep paying rent, keep its employees, and stay open for another year. So think of every receipt as an economic vote. If Walmart serves you well and offers a fair price, that they earn that part of your spending. If a local store gives you better quality and takes more responsibility, they deserve another part of it. There's no need to be completely loyal to either side. Make stores compete for your money instead of letting habit decide for you. Every receipt is a decision. Every dollar is a voice. And when shoppers start using that voice on purpose, no corporation can keep taking customer trust for granted. If Walmart can let things like this happen today, it is hard to believe this is the first time. Maybe we are only now starting to look more closely, weigh products again, and read our receipts more carefully, and ask questions that we never thought we would have to ask before. But it is still not too late. We do not need to panic. We need to stay connected and protect each other. That is also why this channel was created, not to spread fear, but to help people like us everyday consumers see more clearly what is happening during this time of soaring prices. Every dollar matters. Every meal matters. And the right information can help a family avoid losing money. To keep following these issues with us, the ones that directly affect your wallet and your everyday life, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and leave your experience in the comments below. See you in the next video.